And welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show. As you know, every week we have a new guest, somebody we think is very important in the community, or a couple of people we think very important in the community. This is brought to you by the wonderful folks at COMC, that's Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. So we have got the Captain Ron family here today, the Duggans. It's Ron Duggan, it's Nicole Duggan. Thank you guys for coming down and talking to us.
Thanks for having us.
So I asked you, I said, would you guys be willing, you're kind of the family behind the shootout, would you be willing to come in and kind of talk about that? And you were like, you bet, no problem. And you were like, I'm not sure.
Right?
Right. But thank you for coming down
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
talking to us. So you bought the old, was it the Kula Bay restaurant?
It was.
Okay. So you bought that, and it was a mobile home park back in 2006. Was there any kind of a thought that this would turn into what it's turned into?
Actually, I was going to tear it down and build condominiums, so no, there was no thought about this.
Right. I mean, it wasn't even, I mean, this could be this or that. You were going to build condos there.
I was. Thank goodness I didn't, because, you know, the crash of 2008 would have put me out of business.
Yeah.
So, thank goodness we went into the restaurant business, but people really came out and supported it that first year, and then we're like, okay, we're in the restaurant business, and you know, she was, when we bought it, she was 8.5 months pregnant with our daughter, and
wow.
She was like, wow, you know, this is great, but your timing really is not good. So
a little bit of stress right about then, right?
There was, yeah.
Wow.
So for the Halloween party before we bought it, when Kula's owned it, we went to their last night. We bought it November 1st, so they had their last big party on October 31st, and I went as a priest and she went as a pregnant nun, and so it was perfect.
They're a pregnant nun, okay.
Right.
I'm surprised you didn't go as a pirate or something.
No.
Kind of turned out to be
Yeah, we weren't sure what we were going to do with it. You know, we were buying it to tear it down and build condos, and then, you know, we kind of got talked into maybe opening the restaurant, and the rest is history.
Yeah, it sure is. So your youngest child, if you were 8.5 months pregnant, has never gone without a shootout, right?
No, she's been involved in
Almost
Every one
of them.
Well,
yeah.
not the first one. Well, I guess it was in
She was probably a
2008.
little tiny right
2008
about
was
then,
our first one, so yeah, she would have just turned one. So.
Yeah, because this makes the 15th year at Captain Ron's, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you guys have been involved with a lot of different businesses in the area. I mean, everybody thinks about you as Captain Ron's and all that stuff, but you actually do title insurance, and you have Scallywags, which is a RV park.
Actually, my stepfather has Scallywags RV Park.
Okay.
And my sister and brother-in-law run that for him. We had a Mexican restaurant for a while. We had a barbecue restaurant for a while, and we have a coffee shop. And
You had Cannons for a while, right?
Cannon Smoke Saloon, yep,
Yeah.
we did.
That was one of my favorite places for a long
We
time.
just had a hard time getting it staffed all the time, and
Yeah.
so and then the COVID hit, and it was just, we didn't have any staff, and so it was the perfect time to close it.
Yeah, and then the Funky Buffalo in Camdenton. You guys have been a part of that for several years, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Our son and daughter-in-law are running it now, and it seems to be going well, and we're excited to have it back.
All right. So now, what a weird name. How did you come up with Funky Buffalo?
Well, you know, we never really do anything normal. So that's where the funky part came in. I grew up in Kansas, so the state animal is a buffalo, and we just took it and ran with it.
The state animal of Kansas is a buffalo?
I do believe it's a bison.
I figured
yeah,
it would have been a blue bird
Right,
or something,
right,
a jayhawk
right.
or something.
I mean, it probably is. It just
Wow.
depends on who you ask.
All right. So what is the Funky Buffalo? What do you do over there?
So we have a coffee shop. We have espressos, lattes, boba teas, breakfast items, lunch items, and we're open from 6:30 in the morning till 6 at night. There's boutiques in there, and it's just a fun little place where people can stop and grab some food and look around at a lot of local shops.
It's kind of a really neat property back there. You know, if like you do the drive-through and you drive around, it's kind of like going through a nature adventure or something
Right,
back there.
yeah.
It's kind of neat. That's pretty cool. So, and the title insurance is your day job.
That's how I make my living.
Right.
I don't make it off the restaurant, despite what everybody thinks.
Everybody thinks of the restaurant.
There's
right?
really not a lot of profit in restaurant business, especially when you have to replace coolers every other year.
Right.
But so I make my living off the title insurance, and I've been doing that for 39 years.
And you actually started that as part of a family thing too, right?
Yeah, my father came down, was an attorney, and he's actually the one that started the title business in 1982 and called me and asked me to come down and run it. And so in August of '83, I moved down and moved my family down and got into the title insurance business. Had no idea what I was doing.
Boy, and some ups and downs in that industry around, I mean, everywhere, but around here. You talked about '08 earlier, where I'm sure things were slow. And then, gosh, the last few years where it's just exploded. It's a lot of that.
Most of the time it was up. We only had probably 5 years where the business was down. We've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
But starting from nothing, you know, we had nowhere to go but up. But the Gulf War kind of hurt us a little bit back then. And then, of course, in '08, we had 3 of horrible years. We had a big downturn, and it kind of leveled out in 2011, and we started building it back up again. And we went from 31 employees to 3, which was a very difficult time for us.
Wow.
It was kind of a change of a lifestyle. So,
I'm guessing.
but you know, once we got through that, we survived it, and things have been going, you know, fairly well since.
It's amazing how much this area has changed in that time. It's been, what, about 40 years maybe in that time frame that you're talking about from when you first came. From then to now is just a stunning change.
Well, they used to roll the streets up, you know, in the wintertime around here, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'd go to work and everybody's like, what are you doing here? You know, there's nothing to do in the wintertime. So, yeah, it was kind of a culture shock coming from Kansas City and moving down here and getting into the title business at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we're talking with the family behind the shootout. It's Nicole and it's Ron Duggan, Captain Ron. What do they call you, Mrs. Captain Ron or Queen Nicole?
Yeah,
or
no.
They call her Coach Mom.
Oh, there you go. We'll have to get into that.
All my kids call her Coach Mom.
Because you guys are huge in the world of basketball. So we'll have to get into that. We'll do that. We're going to take a break here on the Community Spotlight Show. We'll continue to talk with Ron and Nicole right after this. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Laurie opening in spring of 2022. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the polar plunge to festivals, parades, aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootout. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV. What is COMC? A health center where everyone has access to high-quality, affordable medical, dental, and behavioral health care, regardless of insurance or ability to pay. Offering primary care, preventative, chronic, pediatrics, and OBGYN. COMC even offers comprehensive dental and same-day emergency care. A health center that focuses on every aspect of your health. Everything your family needs to stay healthy. At COMC, your health is our mission. And welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the wonderful folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. A new place open in Laurie for COMC. How about that? Okay, so we're talking with the Duggan family here. It's Ron, Captain Ron, and Nicole. We're not quite sure what to call Nicole yet. Funky Buffalo Nicole, maybe, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So you guys have a pretty large family, right? 5 kids. A wide range from, 40 to 15, and you're still alive.
Right.
It's amazing. Right. That's something that will make you tougher or kill you, one or the other.
Right.
So, but have they all been involved in shootout to a certain degree over the years?
Probably all but Mark. Our son Mark lives down in Memphis. He was living in Nashville for before that. He's bartended a little bit before. He used to work at Paradise back when he was in high school and college, and but hasn't had a lot to do other than just coming to the shootout. But Michael managed the restaurant for us for several years, and he was heavily involved in the shootout. And you know, Colton has worked there in the past, and they're always around during shootout time. Of course, you know, that's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, during that time, and of course, Brooklyn's grown up with it. You know,
Yeah.
so she's always there. And
Well,
she helps out with the Make-A-Wish rides now, and really enjoys that. And you know, so Yeah, it's definitely a family affair.
Every time, you know, and I'm fairly new to that. I've only been here for a couple years, but every time I would see you guys at a shootout event, I would see, you know, Brooklyn with you. It was kind of like a family thing going on. It really is a family kind of a thing.
It is, absolutely.
And the whole shootout family, I mean, it's not just us. I mean, you know, there's so many people, you know, that are a major part of it and that do the whole thing. And just like all our board members, I mean, it's all family. And their families all get involved and their kids get involved. And there's a lot more to it than just she and I and our kids.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many people involved in this thing that make this thing happen, and their families are all involved. And it's just really a neat event.
Very
I think it's that in particular that makes the shootout so special. Is that it's not just something to make money, or it's not just something to have an event. I mean, there's a real purpose behind it, which is pretty much raising money for charity, and there's a real familial thing behind it, starting with you guys, but then pretty much everybody involved has that family thing going.
They really do, and that's why all the racers come from all over the country and spend thousands of dollars to come here and come hang out. And it's all about families and what we're doing for the charities. And you know, the unique thing about the shootout is nobody gets paid. I mean, nobody that volunteers gets paid. They work for their charities, and so their hours go toward their charitable organization. You know, so they're making money to give out to other people, which is really kind of a neat deal. So everybody's on the same wavelength.
Yeah, that is so cool. And you get people, you know, whether it's the Mawsons or the Wagners or whoever, you get these people that give of their time. You know, they volunteer every year. They're just kind of the meat and potatoes of what makes it run, what makes it go.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So cool. So you guys you fit in here perfectly because you're huge animal lovers, right? I mean, the last I checked, we had horses and donkeys.
She is the huge animal lover.
You're the animal lover. Okay. See, I don't think I fit in because,
Right.
you know, it's like, you know, but everybody else, they've got dogs and cats and everything. So it's horses, it's donkeys, it's pigs,
It is, yeah.
It's
a little bit of
chickens,
everything.
cats and dogs and chickens.
We just got four little kitties last night or yesterday, and you know, I say it's all her, but I'm laying there on the couch and they're all snuggled up around my neck last night.
Yeah, he talks
He
tough,
does.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So you still have the pigs?
Oh, yeah. Two little pigs.
Yeah.
And they just.
I hear they make good pets. I don't know. Is that
Millie
true?
and Elsa.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, they'll roll over and let you scratch their belly.
Oh, I bet they will. Yeah, they
Trying to
probably
go
will.
outside and go to the bathroom, you know, they walk over and go to the bathroom.
Are there still folks around that remember the old Kula Bay restaurant? That
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they stop in and they go, "I hate what you've done with it," or you know, "I love what you've done with it." Or,
Right. Or we used to come here years ago with our families, and it was a great place. And
Yeah.
wow.
Was it a great place? I hear it was kind of a hole in the wall.
Well, it kind of was, but it was you know, a fairly popular place, and a lot of people came down. And of course, there were a lot of mobile homes there, and so you know, families grew up there.
Yeah.
You know, going to that place. Most of them, other than the ones where we told them they had to take their trailers and go away.
Right.
You know, they weren't real happy, but most everybody else has been pretty happy with what we've done. And it used to be the Alamo Resort before that, and a lot of people came down to the old Alamo Resort. And so we'll get a lot of people that come in and say, "Yeah, I remember when."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And especially because, I mean, Chicago, St. Louis, Kansas City, Nebraska, everybody would come here. A lot of people would come here for vacations, and
Right.
they remember those
Right.
years, right?
Right. Yeah.
Family memories. And now you guys are making those memories or helping others make those memories. So that's pretty special. We're down to the last few seconds, but real quickly, do you ever think about the difference that you make in the community? I mean, last year it was what, $445,000 raised for charity. I mean, you really make a difference in people's lives by doing this. Does that ever hit you? Think about what you're doing?
It does when we're handing out checks.
Yeah.
You know, and people are crying, and I mean, it's very emotional.
Very special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. And so, you know, we love what we've been involved in, and again, there's a big team that does it, and they're all there for the same reason. And you know, it's just it's pretty cool to see the impact that you have on the community, and you know, and hopefully one of these days when I'm long gone, it'll still be going, and
Yeah.
people will remember me, you
Let's
know,
hope.
and remember
Well, who
us
could
and
forget
what we've
Captain
done.
Ron,
Nobody.
right? Absolutely. All right, so we're out of time, but we got to know a little more about the family behind the shootout, the Duggans. Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.